Hey guys, how's it going? Back with another review from my recent Infinity War toy haul. Now I read your guys' comments and tallied up who you guys wanted to see next, and the Infinity Gauntlet was edged out ever so slightly by Iron Man versus Thanos. So these two bad boys are gonna be next. But here's a little teaser to hold you over. Alright, let's get this review started. Alright, starting with the front of the package, we have an awesome open window, and when I say open, I mean like open. I mean, check this out. I can lift his arm out of his little socket there. That's crazy. This is like the most theft-inviting packaging ever. I mean, Iron Man is literally held in by these two little zip ties, and Thanos just three. I mean, I have no idea what Hasbro was thinking, but I mean, if these guys are like missing from store shelves and their box are just sitting there, I mean, seriously, I mean, you guys, I mean, Hasbro should have saw it coming. Now, if you look here, we have an awesome picture of the figure, and the gold here is nice and shiny, but not so much on the figure. So I think there was a little miscommunication between the final product and prototype department. I don't know, maybe, probably. Here's one side with the awesome Iron Man artwork. I really dig it. And here's the other side with the Thanos artwork and his sweet gauntlet. Here's the top, and here's the back with a cool picture of these two facing off. A little comic book bubble there, some wording, and a bunch of Lego mumbo jumbo. Collect the Infinity Stones, but what if I want the figures instead? And here's the bottom with the UPC. Now let's get this battle started. And there they are, guys, freed from the package. Now I think I'll save the best for last and start with the Iron Man first, also known as Iron Man. Now starting with the head, we get the awesome new sculpt from the Infinity War movie. Now the front is your typical Iron Man helmet. It's got the gold, you got the eyes there, got the kind of mouth looking thing there. The back of the helmet is pretty standard as well, but it's this new side piece that's really awesome. It looks like he has an extended cheekbone or something, and I think it looks pretty cool and unique. It's kind of almost like he's wearing a mask or something. Like, well, he is wearing a mask, duh. I mean like mask, like one of those samurai masks that they wore, you know, that thingamajig. Either way, I think it looks cool. And moving on down to the body, we get the updated Infinity War armor. I actually really like this new suit design. It's very organic looking and kind of alien looking as well. I like how the outlines here are very organic looking and fluid. Almost a mixture of like maybe Wakandan and like Guardians of the Galaxy tech. Now I really like the gold paint that they used here. It's very shiny and actually looks gold, which is nice. But I wish they would have used more paint because it's very bland. Especially up here in the arc reactor. It's just very plain without any extra painting or anything to add that kind of glowing sense to it. But they did do a great job sculpting the back. I mean, just look at all that detail. I mean, if you're a painter, this is like a dream, and if you're not, then this just kind of sucks. It's the same deal with the arm. They got a lot of nice sculpting going on, and just no paint job, which is really sad. I mean, just look at all this sculpting and molding. It would have looked just amazing if they would have just added some more paint. And it's the same deal with the other arm here, just at a different angle. At least some painted in repulsor glass would have been cool. And moving on down the legs, it's pretty much the same deal as the arms and the back. There's loads of nicely sculpted detail into it, just no paint to accentuate it, which is really disappointing. Now they did add some more of that nice shiny gold there though, and it looks great. I just wish there was more. Here's a nice close-up of the thigh there to get some more of that nice sculpting detail. And a nice close-up of the lower legs there. Still really awesome looking. And here's the bottom of the feet with all the Lego mumbo jumbo and some peg holes. Now as far as articulation, there's not much at all. His head rotates a full 360 degrees. There's a little bit of up and down movement. There's down and up. A little bit of side to side movement, about that much. And his arm rotates 360 degrees, but that is all you get. Nothing else moves. No joints or anything. His fingers are nice and flexible though, so they won't break if you hit something. But the plastic for the rest of the body is hard. There is no flexibility whatsoever. Alright, now before we move into Thanos, I do have a little tidbit I want to point out. All the way up to the Black Panther, Marvel has made 18 movies, and everything has led up to Infinity War, and it's 2018. So 18 movies and 2018 they release Infinity War? I mean, that's pretty cool. Also, if you take the 8 out of 2018 and turn it sideways, it turns into the infinity symbol. Okay, yeah, I'll admit that's pretty nerdy, but I mean, I'm taking a math class right now, and it's just it's affecting me. Alright, now on to Thanos. Now starting with his head, we get what's potentially a first look at his armor in Infinity War. I don't know though, he kind of looks like Megatron though. You know, the terrible Michael Bay version. His face looks like it's kind of just stuffed in this armor here, and he has a weird face expression. I don't know, it looks like he's trying to force a smile or something, and he's just not sure of himself. I'm not sure. The eyes aren't too bad though. They're actually double painted. You have black for the top of the eye, Then you have white for the eye, and then you have the pimple, or pupils, not pimples. His eyes are pimples. No, they're pupils. And it's pretty decently sculpted overall with the little Thanos kind of wrinkles going on there. Now this armor is really interesting. It's actually a very intricate design just for the helmet alone. I mean, just look at the back there. Let's take a look at all those little curves and designs there. He really does look like some sort of Transformer head though, the helmet. It really just emulates that, but I don't know if that's what they're going for, if that's just what the toy ended up looking like. Then you have some little gray accents up here, which is kind of interesting. Not sure what those are. And it looks like they're going for a horn look up there. They're not sharp or anything, they're pretty dull and out, but it's pretty cool looking still. But moving on down to the body, we get the really interesting details. Just looking at his shoulder armor here, you have a lot of intricate details as you can see. It looks very Asgardian with the gold and then all the little sculpted line details there as you can see. It's even crazier going around to the back. It's really interesting. It's like, I really wonder if this is going to be the armor he wears in the movie. And there's of course his button for the sound effects. Then take a look down here. It looks kind of like ribcage detail style. They gave him some armored abs there. Some more armored ribs there too. Although it looks like the armor ends right here, so it looks like his armpits can breathe at least. Here's a better look at the back there with more of that awesome detail. It just looks so just intricate and crazy. Now these holes here are for the speaker sounds in case you're wondering. Now his arm has even more of that awesome detail. Just look at that. It's just so, look at that sculpting. It's insane. If this is really going to be in the movie, I can only imagine what the actual version would look like, because you know the toys never look as good as the movie. So if this looks this good already, I mean, man, just imagine the movie. Now his other arm is where it's at, because it has the Infinity Gauntlet. Although I must say it is kind of disappointing because it's just very, there's no paint on it. It's very well detailed as you can see with all the sculpting and all that stuff, but aside from that, there's no paint detail. They didn't even put any paint on the stones, which would have been so cool, so that's kind of a disappointment. Now it's actually made out of translucent plastic because it actually lights up when you activate the sound effects. Now moving on down the legs, we get some more of that awesome sculpt. It really does look like Asgardian armor the more I look at it. And I do like the color of the gold molding they used overall. Even though it's not as shiny as the packaging, it still has a little bit of shimmer to it if you take a closer look. Now this thing here is a lever to make his torso pivot. And here's the bottom of his feet for you. Legal mumbo jumbo. Now he uses two AAA batteries which are actually housed in each one of his legs here. Now the batteries are included when you purchase them, so you don't have to worry about buying those. Now for his articulation, he has even less than Iron Man. His head doesn't move at all. His left arm can only rotate as far as his shoulder armor up there, so not too much. His right arm does rotate 360 degrees though, which is cool, but he doesn't have any leg movement at all. His torso does pivot and it activates the sound effects too.
The reality stone can make your dreams.
Now as for sound effects, Iron Man makes no sounds. It's all Thanos. He actually has 3 sound effects from this button right here, and then he has 6 sound effects when you hit the lever here or just twist his pivot, and those 6 sound effects coincide with each Infinity Stone on his gauntlet, which is pretty cool. And for every sound effect, his gauntlet lights up too. Now let's go and start with the 3 chest sound effects first. Alright, here's number 1.
Surrender the stones if you know what's best for your universe.
Number 2.
The Infinity Stones are mine. Stay out of my way.
And number 3.
You can't stop me from collecting the Infinity Stones.
Alright, now let's listen to his Infinity Stone voices and sounds, which is activated by this lever right here, or just twisting his torso. Here's number 1.
Only the strong can harness the might of the Purple Power Stone.
Number 2.
The Green Time Stone will slow you down.
Number 3.
I can see right into your soul with the power of the Orange Soul Stone.
Number 4.
My intellect cannot be matched with the Yellow Mind Stone.
Number 5.
You will never be able to escape as long as I have the Blue Space Stone.
And number 6.
The Red Reality Stone can make your dreams or your nightmares come true.
You sound like Freddy Krueger there, man. Alright, now getting into the accessories, he comes with this little blade here, which is pretty cool. It does have paint on here on the edge for the blade, which is a nice shiny silver there, as you can see. But everything else is just this gray mold color. Now, he does come with these 2 Infinity Stones, though. Now, at first I was kind of bummed because I already have this blue and purple Power Stone. They come with the Thor and Groot and Rocket figures. But then I realized that they're not actually the same. Now, here's the one that comes with Rocket, and here's the one that comes in this 2-pack. And as you can see, the little symbols on here, they're actually different. So it makes me wonder if they're actually going to do different things in the Hero Vision. Same thing for Thor, the symbols are not the same. I'm waiting to open them in a review in case you guys are wondering why he's still in the package. Now this hole here attaches to the peg on the blade here, and you can just stick those on there like so. One on each side. And now you have an Infinity Stone powered blade.
My intellect cannot be matched with the Time Stone will...
How it should have ended! Face Maker Studios! Yeah! Now it came with this little instruction booklet here, which just kind of shows how the mechanism works and how to take the batteries out. A bunch of legal mumbo jumbo there. But on the back, it actually shows the Hero Vision, which is kind of interesting. This is just a bunch of SCC statements. Now I did see an article showing this Iron Man helmet and that little hand thing, but I wasn't sure if it was actually the correct Hero Vision. But from what it looks like it actually is. It looks like you do stick your phone into the Iron Man looking helmet, and then you have a little armband here, and I guess you put the stones in, and I think your phone scans it, and then you just kind of do Iron Man repulsor blasts at it. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, and note the hidden Mickey here, for those of you who are Disney fans. Alright, and now for some comparisons. Here he is next to Groot and Rocket, also from the Hero Vision line. And here he is next to the Marvel Legends Thor. Man, he's just really big, that Marvel Legends Thor. Although Thanos is still big. And then here he is next to the Funko Pop Headphone Spidey. Huh, they kind of look like a band, you know, like the Village People. Now overall, these figures aren't too bad. They're really more just statues because of how little articulation they have. Although the little slash feature that Thanos has and the light up gauntlet and the sounds, that's pretty cool. But this 2-pack does run $30 US, and honestly, I can't really recommend it at that price. That's pretty expensive for what you get. I mean, these little stones here better do some pretty amazing stuff in that Hero Vision. Otherwise, it's like, I mean, 30 bucks for these guys. Yeah. So unless you guys really like the look of these guys, or just the fact that Thanos is in his armor, or you like his little kind of little slashy sound effect stuff, I really can't recommend it that much, because at $30 US, it's a steep price for what you get. But I have to say, I am excited that we actually get to see armored Thanos in this toy at the very least. And I do hope we get this in the movie, because honestly, what we see in the trailer it's pretty pitiful for a super powered being. Well guys, that's another review down from my Infinity War toy haul. And go and comment down below which one you want to see next. It seems like the Infinity Gauntlet is the natural successor, since it had the second most votes for next video last time. But some of the other figures are kind of starting to pick up too, so who knows. But anyways guys, if you like this video, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next Infinity War toy review. Peace.